At Cree. Oh my lord! Good morning, Onion Lake, and viewers out there. You're joining me, Tyrell Rowan, on 7 Gen live stream. We are joined here by Harlan Kytwayhat, Cree actor from Loon Lake. He started his career in Tribal and now has appeared in multiple projects such as Outlander, Prey, and he plays Coach Sanguinet on Shorzy. And how's it going, Harlan?
Hey, hey. Thanks for having me. Good to be here.
Yeah, and
Lovely building.
yes, it's really great to be here.
But I got discovered as an actor. I took a program at Northwest Regional College called hospitality and management, right? And so like that just helps you get your foot in the door to work in like restaurants, like fancy hotels. Like if they see that, you're probably going to be put pretty high up on the list of getting hired. And so yeah, did that. Applied at the golf course in Loon Lake. That's where I worked as a bartender for the first time, and well, second time actually. But there was this one day during lunch, like the son and father comes in. They go just sit at a table, and I go serve them. Right, just a regular day for me. Well, little did I know, I thought it was a regular day for me. And yeah, I go up to the table and I start serving them, crack a couple of jokes, and towards I guess the end of their meal, their father kept saying to the son, like, "Hey, like, you should go talk to him. He has that celebrity look. Like, aren't you guys looking for an actor with that build right now?" And what that build was just tall, slender, and indigenous, either early 20s or late 30s for this audition that they had. But they didn't have any actors for it, right? On their, I guess you could say roster. And so yeah, they come and pay for their meals. Joel comes up and introduces himself to me. This is what I do. This is who I am. So, have you ever acted before? And I told him I did drama in grade 10. That's about it. That's as far as my acting experience goes. And oh oh okay. And oh wow, yeah, there we go. And so yeah, I couldn't really talk to him though because there was like a couple of other people behind him, right? Like still having to it's just a regular work day for me, so I couldn't just like put pause on the world and expect the world to wait for me. And so I'm just like, yeah, no, this is all I've done. Nice to meet you. Have a good day. And then they leave. Everyone else leaves, and the restaurant's quiet. And so I'm just thinking, I'm asking my coworker because she seemed to have known the family, right? They knew her name, but she was like not really on first name basis with them. And I was like, hey, do you like, what was his name? What was the son's name? She's like, I'm not sure. I just remember their last name. And so I thought opportunity passed, right? I was like, okay, well, gee whiz. And about a week later, the way we got paid was in checks, so in envelopes, right? And I noticed that mine was like little thicker, my envelope. And I thought it was like, extra tip, extra money, because I thought I was just that good of a worker. But no, it was a printed off email from our bookkeeper. And she leaves a sticky note on it. Like before I open it up, the sticky note reads, "Harlan, you should really look into this opportunity." And I open up that piece of paper and I start reading it, right? It's like I said, it was a printed off email and it was from Joel. He emailed the bookkeeper of the Loon Lake Golf Course. And he basically just like rehashed what he said again, introduced himself, said like, I work with this agency out in Vancouver. I'm looking for this server. And then he described my build again. And like, I was the only one that had that build in that entire building. Just slender, tall, indigenous, that's it. And so I contacted him after that. He left his number, he left his email, so I thought I'd just shoot him a text. And then that's when he told me, like, let's hop on a call. Let's actually discuss this and see, like, if you're willing to do it. And yeah, I called him up. I told him I want to try this audition, and I almost booked that first role I auditioned for, which was like, yeah, that show called Outlander. And I, yeah, got very close, and I didn't know it was like, that easy. I know it's not that easy, but like to me, yeah, I got a good start, and from there it just kind of spiraled to me doing other auditions. One audition led to Tribal, one audition led to Skulls, not Prey, as it was called during the pre-production, and then yeah, and then I guess my career just plays out from there.
Yeah, so that first audition there that you got, the guy that came in there, you didn't land that audition?
Nope.
No, really?
No, not even. Got pretty close though.
Yeah.
It came down to me and the other guy, and they went with him, and I decided to just keep going because I didn't know it was like that. I would have been on my
Yeah.
way to Scotland like a week after my first audition because of how fast things tend to move.
Yeah, so you're saying like if you when you did audition for that kind of gets your foot in the door where everyone's kind of like, oh, who's this kid here, and it gave you the opportunity to go to these other auditions.
Yep, pretty much. Pretty
Yeah.
much, yeah. Like once my face and name was out there, it kind of like just spiraled into people wanting to work with me more or like give me that opportunity to audition, right?
Yeah, that's amazing, man. So like you just took that opportunity, so
And like the thing too, I wasn't supposed to be working that day. My coworker called in sick, and so I went in and covered her shift. So like, yeah, it all just fell into place. Yeah.
What was the first show that you actually like got the audition for? The part.
Oh, that would well, here's the thing. My very first gig, I auditioned for a totally different character. But that build, they needed like a scruffy, bearded, older looking guy, and I'm like I'm just not that. No matter how hard I try. And
Like, I can be.
yeah, I mean, right makeup and hair team. No, yeah, so Tribal, I auditioned for this character. His name is Dallas, and I forget like his character description. He's just another rugged guy, that the cops always have, running into. But obviously, yeah, like I said, I didn't fit the description very well, and they had this other character that they didn't find an actor for yet, and that character's name was Jonas. And then so instead of like pushing me through the process of doing it again, they decided to just offer me the role of Jonas. So like my first role wasn't even through like the proper audition. It was like through a different one, and then they're like, no, let's give him this character because that young look, right? Yeah, played a 15-year-old in that one, and I was 22 at the time, I think, or 21 when I filmed that.
yeah, that's amazing. So from when you first auditioned and booked your role, do you still kind of get that feeling of like excitement just to get a script or else even going for the audition?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like every time I see that email from my agents, it says like appointment for Harlan, like
Yeah.
in the subject area, and then I start to like kind of freak out because I'm like, is this another big opportunity, or is this like a special guest role?
Yeah.
Either way, like I like thinking like that, right? And yeah, and then I just punch out the audition whenever I can. Well,
Yeah.
obviously before the deadline, but
Yeah. So, is there like any advice on like how to get over that kind of, I guess, overwhelmedness? I guess you could say. Like, is there something that you do? Do you put on music or just know your lines? I know that's a big thing there. You got to know your lines and until
yeah, like my process, like when I first auditioned, I only ever did self tapes, right? I don't know what it's like to go into a room and have to audition like in front of people and like have to bring that character to the life on the spot. So I have no advice for those actors, camera person, and yeah, your camera person can also be your reader, right? Like you don't need a whole team behind the camera just for an audition. So like minimize the amount of people that are in your space, and when it comes to studying your lines, one of the things I do is like I do play loud music because it just keeps the cogs rolling, right? And then once the music is stopped and like it's quiet, and then like the lines just stick with me right there. And then after that, I just punch out the audition. I used to work with my buddy Joel, but he moved to New York, so I've been doing self tapes on my own recently. And I just record like on my iPad. I record the other person's dialogue and try to time it right, like leave 3, 5, 10 seconds in between, so I can do like the actual acting auditioning. And so that's my process right now. I just tape it myself. I have my own little ring light. I have a little blue screen at home, so I just set it all up and just get to work on my own schedule. Because, yeah, being told what to do sometimes isn't very fun. Oh yeah. Okay. So I decided just recently, like I wasn't gonna do this, but I thought it would be cool because I put myself on the other side before I decided this. Like, oh, that'd be so cool if like some actor celebrity came in and decided, hey, I want to do a little bit of draw prizes. So I have a Funko Pop here of the Predator, the feral Predator from Prey, and it's autographed by me and has my character name on it. And then I also have the season 1 of Shorzy right here, also autographed by me and with my character name on it. And I was thinking about doing a draw at the end of all of this to give away to 2 lucky fans, I guess.
Be very awesome. I have a question about Prey. When did that all start? Like, when did you start auditioning for that movie?
So when I first auditioned for it, I'm pretty sure it was still called Skulls, unless it had another untitled thing like Creature Feature or something, right? Because obviously they had to keep things under wraps, right? Yeah, big project for Disney. So when I was doing the audition, it wasn't for Itze. Itze wasn't even like a character yet. He was on the cutting floor like pretty early in the script drafts, right? And so I was auditioning for the brother, and so yeah, that scene I auditioned for, it's when they were both tied up to that tree, you know, the Frenchman about to ambush the predator. So that was the scene I auditioned for, but obviously they cut out the big fight scene in the audition. Spoilers. And so yeah, I was doing that first audition. In my mind, I was just doing another period piece. Like, oh, cool, I'm gonna play, or I'm auditioning to be a native guy in the 1700s. Like, that's awesome. Let's go. And I think it was in my second audition is when I met with the team, like Dan, Jane, several other producers, and I think the other writer was in that Zoom meeting with us. And same, like even then, I didn't realize yet here. I just thought it was still another period piece, right? And got farther into the audition process to the point where my agent said, Harlan, they want you to fly down to LA to audition in person because it's coming down between you and these 2 other actors. And then same for the Naru, right? It came down between like Amber and these 2 other actresses. But like, and that was kind of like a little ruse that they threw our way, kind of keep us on our toes, because when we got there, it was really just down between Dakota and myself. And then for Naru, it went from Amber Mid-Thunder to Quana Chasing Horse, Quana Rose. She was almost in Prey as well as a sister. So yeah, so we get to LA. Oh yeah, and that's a thing too. I didn't have my passport yet for this. I had to get it expedited. I needed like a little email thing from Disney, and I needed one from my agency to show, you know, the not post office, the Canada Service folks. And so yeah, I had to get it expedited, 24 hours, got it done, and like 2-3 days later, I was on my way to Los Angeles. First time leaving the country, mind you, in the middle of COVID. So I was threatened with so many fines, and like, if you don't do this, $100,000. I'm like, the other person just said 10,000. Then I take, you know, go to the next step. If you don't do this, $1 million. I'm like, that person just said 100,000. Like, what's going on? How many zeros? And anyways, so get to LA, and yeah, like I said, we got there, and I think the first one I met was Quana in the lobby. Pretty sure she was the first one I met out of like, you know, the actors auditioning for the role. And we didn't really talk, just kind of like, hey, like, oh, we'll see you down there, I guess. And while we were waiting, Dakota comes out of the hotel, right? And we were taking off, and I was like, wait, isn't there another person? Like, aren't we waiting for one more? Like, oh no, that was to keep you guys on your toes. It's just you for? And I was like, oh, okay, like that like eases it for me because now I only have to like worry about this other dude that I'm auditioning against. And I was like, yeah, when I saw him, I was like, ah, damn it, like I don't know, I'm kind of like not so confident anymore because the guy like this gorgeous guy walks out of the hotel, man. He has like this dark denim jacket, dark denim jeans on, red shirt, hair just flowing in the wind, you know. And I was like, because my hair was only about right there at the time of Prey, right? So it wasn't that long, and we got down to the audition area, and that process was really cool because we had to showcase our like agility and our athleticism, and which was them putting us through this obstacle course. We had to like crawl through like a bunch of these ropes, like where even like something as simple as a shoulder would get tangled on. So you really had to navigate your way through it. Then after that, just a couple of like obstacles to jump over, whatever. And lucky for me, I grew up doing parkour. And so I got away. Like I was able to like look cool jumping over these things and like, doing the barrel roll, and getting everything done, right? And even the director, he took note of that. We had a couple of guys who worked on Avatar 3 and 2, I believe. They were like part of the stunt team for Avatar. Yeah, the James Cameron ones. Yeah, so we had a couple of them like helping with the audition process, right? Especially with the obstacle courses. And there was this one I did. Uh, there was like a little half mat thing about like at that angle, right? And they were like, "Okay, Harlan, you guys got to get from here to this platform, but your prey is on this side of the platform. So like, do what you do to like get to your prey, right?" And so I was like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna just go full parkour mode." And so I went sprinting down the little mat, took one leap off, or leapt off this first half mat, took one more off of this mat, and jumped down and like struck the target. And then did a little tuck and roll to end it, and that really really rubbed the director the right way. Like he loved it. He's like, "Harlan, that was so cool." Like I like, "How'd you do that?" I'm like, "Nah, I just told him when I told you, like, oh, I did parkour growing up. Like all this moving around and stuff, it's just natural to me." So like that's where I got lucky. And then yeah, obviously the audition did go great. I did one scene with Kwana, and then yeah, obviously another take with Amber, right? But here's the part that kind of like made Kwana and I like side eye each other, like because we spent almost an hour doing our audition, but then Amber and Dakota come back in 20 minutes. And we're like, oh, geez, that means they did it good. That means they got it right. And like me, I kept messing up because they also made us audition in Comanche as well while we were down there. Yeah, because like it was still rumor had it that it might be dubbed in Comanche. It wasn't 100% yet, but they just wanted to make sure, right? And so we did the audition in English, which went well. But yeah, like I said, when we switched over to Comanche, I was just like, tum, tum, all of a sudden I couldn't even speak English anymore. And then yeah, I think it was about a week after auditioning is when word got out. The director and Jane Myers, they really wanted me for that role of the brother, right? But Disney wanted Dakota, so obviously you got to listen to the mouse, right? And so yeah, Dakota got that role, but I made such a good impression that, like I said about the character Itza, he was on the cutting floor. So when he came back, when we all got the first official script, my character just disappeared in that first script. He's not mentioned out. Like he shows up, that beginning scene, like we have to go get Pui. And then after that, my character just disappears. Like he's not even in any of like the action movements or like no more dialogue, right? And then we get another draft that comes out, and then yeah, then I'm realizing I'm getting more lines and more action stuff, without realizing to create my character they had to take from other characters. So I took a bunch of the other actors' lines and dialogues. I took a bunch of their action moments just so they can make my character come to life.
That actually sounds really amazing. So you just made that great impression where they just wanted to keep you onto
Yeah.
the project.
Yeah, they're like, no, we need this guy in this movie. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what it was about my audition, or just maybe the energy I bring. I don't know what it is, but they were like, yeah,
Yeah.
we need Harlan in this movie.
Yeah, even just watching the trailer too, I kind of just I don't know, just really in awe seeing you just running you with that paint on your face there and like those three dots on
Yeah,
your
that's a
head
cool thing
there.
about it too. I got to be the dots on the forehead person. That's like one of the most iconic things about the whole Predator franchise is just that single shot. Because I remember too, the very first poster that came out, it wasn't of Amber and it wasn't of the Predator. It was my face, the first. So I'm the poster baby. Yeah.
So
So
what did you think when you first seen that?
I couldn't believe it. Like I said, like it still almost doesn't feel real that I shot the fifth Predator film and like I got the iconic little lasers on the forehead.
Yeah.
But when I saw my face, especially posted in a different country, that's when it like really hit, right?
Yeah.
Like oh my, like this is happening. This is real. I'm an actor now.
Yeah. So, what about Shorzy? How was that audition? Because like, when you said little Sandy there, I just realized you kind of picked. My brother and I would be always watching Shorzy. Just like as soon as that came out, we've been just binge watching it, and then after a while, we started like pick up that slang there, and even kind of sounding like Jared. You know,
Oh yeah,
kinda sounded
everyone doing their best Shorzy impression. Yeah, but so that audition process was I was filming Prey when I auditioned for Shorzy. I think we were in our either second or third month of shooting Prey when this audition came out, and like mind you, I wasn't the only one in the cast that got that audition. My buddy Corvin got one, buddy Sam got one, and then my buddy Sky also got one. Like we all got this audition for Shorzy, for Sanguinette, and like I think we were filming that day as well, but like plans were kind of like coming into the making, right? Like saying, hey, like we should help each other for this audition. Like, did you get it? Did you get it? They're like, yeah. And I said no. I was like, I'm gonna do this on my own, you guys. Like, you guys can help each other, only because I don't want to accidentally take from your audition and vice versa. Like, what if I did something that you didn't do, but since like it got switched and you decided to do it on the next take, but it was my idea, I just didn't want that conflict to come up, right? And so I let them do their audition whenever they did theirs, and then I did mine. And a couple days later, I met Jared Kiso and Jacob Tierney on Zoom, and then yeah, I guess Jared's process, it takes him less than 5 seconds to realize when he finds his actor. Like he'll watch a tape, be like, "Yep, nope, that's him. Yep, that's yep, we got him. He knows. Jared knows when he knows. Yeah.
Yeah, so right after the Zoom meeting there, like when you guys got to meet in person, like how was that kind of interaction, especially like even with the whole cast there? Cause
Well, he's a lot shorter in person.
okay, you're pretty tall, man. I had to look up to look at you.
So that was one of the things too. I'm like, his character in Letterkenny, Wayne, like this big guy all the time. So that's what I was expecting like someone a little taller. But yeah, I saw him and I was like, all right. And then I saw the other guys and like they're taller than me, but hockey players, it makes sense. And it was actually really cool actually seeing like Jared's face, because mind you, like I'm a huge fan of Letterkenny, right? And it's kind of funny because my very first taste of Letterkenny was a YouTube compilation called "The Best of Shorzy." So I didn't even start watching Letterkenny. I started watching this character right away, Shorzy, when he his camera was just faced against, or back was faced against the camera, so you never saw his face. And just that alone was like unbelievable. And even the director of season 1, and I think he directed most of season 2, I believe, Jacob Tierney. His character in Letterkenny was like my favorite character, Glenn. And so even just seeing him in person, I was just like, please, can you just say the line? Can you say the "Hi, Wayne"? And then he did it for me, and I just lost it. I mean, that's the one thing too. I know like a lot of times actors don't like repeating the one thing they're known for, right? But I'm like, why though? Like that's why you're known. Like own it. That's why I don't mind when people like get me to do the "You ready? Good, 'cause you're going." Yeah, I don't mind saying that a lot because yeah, it's what made me like a celebrity. It's what made me known. So of course I'm gonna own it and keep using it until I'm 40, 50 years old when I don't look like this anymore.
What was it like working on your films like Prey or Shorzy?
To be honest, that like they're both very different experiences because Prey, I was very physical in that movie, right? We had to spend a month in boot camp, and we worked with an ex-Marine Corps and then like a sergeant or lieutenant of the Calgary Police Force, right? And then we had this guy JJ Park, and he worked on the new Halo series recently, and he also worked on those Avatar movies. I'm pretty sure he's really well known in the stunt world, right? Him and his team. Um, so yeah, like I said, month in boot camp. I went into that boot camp already with prior archery training. So I basically like as soon as we started doing it, boom, I caught on to it right away because like I'm used to shooting the traditional way, right? Like, but in prey they had to make us like go at an angle, over top instead of under. And so it didn't take me long to catch up to any of that. The only like thing I was like struggling with was like all the running because never had to do running since high school really because I kind of stopped being physically active after high school. I kind of just like moped around for like a year or two without doing much really. And yeah, so like that alone was like hard. And then shooting was also hard because we had to like do the running takes like 3 to 4 times at least every like scene when we're like running up the hills and like those hills are steep. They were brutal. Like our calves were burning like after every scene. Like you guys ready to go? Like just 30 more seconds. Hold on. we're purposely walking back to our number one marks slowly. And yeah, and like I said, it was just cool to also just. I know I didn't have any like much like scenes with the Predator, but it was really cool to see them rehearse that big fight scene. When he takes down 3 of the other warriors real quick before he takes me out. Spoiler alert. And like a little fun fact about that scene was there was a quick moment and I stayed back to like start rehearsing for this. It was my character was supposed to come back from the bushes and like jump on that log, and while the Predator was fighting the other warriors, my character was supposed to start wasting his arrows on the Predator, right? And then while he's fighting them, he's trying to also like shoot me down with his thing. But since he couldn't lock lasers, he just has to like eyeball it. So like we were just gonna keep going back and forth. I had this whole movement that they already planned out for me. Like I just had to like duck this way, shuffle this way, and then my last arrow was gonna be like a release. So like turn, and then yeah, and then the Predator when he cuts off my Hoopy's head, my buddy Timon Carter, when he cuts off his head, he whips it at me, and that's what throws me off of the log. And then I go running into the grass and like hide, right? No, that's what was supposed to happen. Yeah. Yeah. So like that was, like when they explained it to me and we were just like watching this little 3D animation of how the scene would play out. And right before we actually got to it, the director comes up. Actually, this wouldn't make sense for the timeline. So like, sorry, Harlan, we're not going to use you for the scene. You can go outside with the guys and go play soccer. So like, yeah, and then I was just like, I was real distraught about that because I was looking forward to like having a fight scene, with the main guy, a couple of the boys, right? And so yeah, that was like another like little fun part about Prey. But when it came to shooting Shorzy, that was a real big shift. I'm saying it right now, I'm not that big of a hockey fan. I can't tell you the amount of hockey players that got mad when they're like, "So who are you rooting for this year? Who's your team?" I'm like, "The guys with skates, probably. I don't know." So yeah, I just want to throw that out there. If you come up to me and start talking hockey, my mind's gonna just like that, the monkey with the cymbals that does backflips. That's all that's gonna happen up here. And so yeah, like I said, it was another big shift because I went from being very physically active in a role to just standing there in a tuxedo for hours on end, being cold in an arena while these guys get to skate around and be warm, stay active. And yeah, I guess yeah, that was the other thing too. Like I was saying, it was all hockey. Like I know it's a hockey show, it's hockey based, but like it's like come on guys, we have lives outside of hockey and whatnot too, right? Like like I want to know about like what you did growing up, not about who you played in '02, whatever season, because a lot of ex NHL players too, so they all had like plenty of stories to share. And a couple of them I was interested in, like their stories. Some of them were like funny stories, but other times it was just like, oh yeah, so in '03 I played with like I can't even list off a guy from my head, Burrows from the Canucks. So I'll just say him. I know they probably didn't play against him, but and then they just like tell a random story, and I'm just like, yeah, cool, right on, yeah, but right done.
So, what about like for filming shows? Were you guys able to like improvise? Like, were you guys just like sticking to a script?
It kind of they kind of got more strict with the script as the seasons moved on. But I remember in season one they were very open to like suggestions from us, right? Um, like there was that one scene with Dolo where in real life where that fan was being rude to him and his parents, and he was swinging over the thing, right, over the glass. And so yeah, he corrected Jared in a line that he didn't just call him that racial slur, but he also like disrespected his parents. So like Jared was open to making that line change in the show, right? And then there was a couple with like us. I don't really remember specifics because it's already been 4 years now. I think four coming up 5 years. I think, but yeah, no. Then like season two, I realized like we started just sticking with the script more, and then season three, and that's when I realized like, oh yeah, they're like on the ball when it comes to, like word for word, right? Like I remember that when Shorzy and I were getting into it on the bench, um, by one line, it kind of goes along the like, kind of sounds like you score us a goal, right? But I kept saying point. Yeah, score us a point, and I never noticed because like like we're supposed to just be heated, we're yelling at each other. It's a very like kind of fast-paced scene. So then at the end of it, I'd say point, they'd yell cut. They're like, Harlan, it's goal, goal. You have to say goal, one word. And so like I started to actually get angry, right, with myself, not with like the people telling me like you're saying it wrong. Like I know, my bad, I'm sorry. But never say sorry as an actor. Never ever say sorry. Just restart and get it done. People don't care about apologies. They care about getting the take right, right? And so yeah, I finally get it right, and I say goal. We cut the scene. I go to my dressing room because I had to go cool down, like literally and like emotionally as well. Because it got to the point where it wasn't just like the show creators and directors like telling me, Harlan, you have to say goal. It got to the point where the other actors were starting to butt in. And I'm like, hey, I'm not asking for your guys' opinion right now. Like, you guys have your own problems when it comes to your dialogue. Let me have my own problems when it comes to my dialogue.
So, with that going forward, I was wanting to know what is something you learned in your career that you would want other people to know pursuing acting?
I learned to be more confident, not just as like as this actor coming out into the world, but as an indigenous person, as an indigenous male, like having to navigate through life like everyone else does, right? And acting, yeah, like I said, it really helped with confidence building. And one of the things that I remember, like back to my very first take, to my very last take that I've done on a show, my first take, I started sweating profusely. Like I couldn't stop, like getting all oily and whatnot, like getting warm even though we're outside. So like, and it was cold outside. And I was very like monotone when it came to my line delivery. So like there was no emotion, there was no range. It was just a lot of just that, yeah. And nowadays, like if you like watch this movie I did called Warrior Strong, a basketball movie, that's where I feel like I was really able to showcase range, like actually like act, right? Like Itze, he was like a one-track pony. He's just a warrior, another warrior in the Predator movie. Sanguinette, just shy and reserved, comes out of a shell, like just quick beats right there. But like I was saying, like Shorzy actually really helped me with my confidence building too, because I wasn't very different than Sanguinette when I first booked the role, right? Because mind you, like I said, I just came off of Prey, but didn't have much dialogue in that movie. I just had to run and fall, like 3 times a day, and That's the one thing I'd like really want like other young actors to know is that it does get better. I know it's like hard at first. It's hard to get that foot through the door, right? And it will get easier the time like as time goes by because you'll start to find a routine, right? You'll start to figure out your own way of doing things. And then once you figure that out, then maybe your advice or maybe your way can be advice for other young actors to come up and, be the next Sanguinet.
So, which character did like that you played in your acting career did you like connect most with? Like, which one did you just have no problem doing?
Okay, that was that Warrior Strong movie I was telling you, the basketball movie. We worked with Andrew Dice Clay on that one. Yeah, okay, you're familiar with. Okay. Oh yeah, he was quite a character to work with. Yeah, and yeah, like had no problems with that one. The whole basketball thing came naturally because you played a lot of basketball, volleyball growing up. Very athletic growing up, so it didn't take much to get back into the groove, I should say. And when it came to the dialogue, I don't know. There was just something about the way he would speak to his best friend, and his best friend's name is Shlomo. Character name Aiden. Oh no, real name Aiden. And there was a real big scene between us where like basically telling him like this is your time to grow up. I'm giving you my hot spot, like where I shoot from. It's gonna be yours now. Like I'm passing the mantle down, right? And that was one of the roles I really feel like I like connected with. Had no problem like when it came to dialogue. I didn't have to think like, oh, is he mad in this scene? How is he feeling? I would like read the scene. I'm like, oh, I know exactly how he's feeling. Because being the eldest of four siblings, like it was just really like Harlan talking to one of my younger siblings, right? So that's the one thing too I like to bring to my roles is how much of Harlan can I be before I have to be a different character? Because yeah, with Sanguinet, just not a lot of Harlan anymore. And Itse, like I said, just a regular one-track pony warrior, just nothing really to build on for that character. But yeah, there's this character in Warrior Strong. Character's name is Russell. Yep.
Check, check, check. All right. First of all, I'd like to say welcome. We're all really happy to have you here. And we're all excited about it. I'm sure everybody at home watching is excited. So you guys should get over here because Harlan has some cool gifts for you
Yeah,
guys.
some gifties.
Yep.
Two lucky fans.
Yep. So, okay. Question time. Questions. I had it brewing in my head here. You mentioned you wanted to be a rock star. I heard that earlier, and I was thinking about it, and I was like, and I remember Sam showing me a video of you, and I was like, well, this guy can shred it, man. He is a real rock star. Anyway, I'm like, well, this guy, he's auditioning and he's landing these roles and he's getting recognized, and your movie's coming out this weekend, isn't it? On the 7th?
Oh yeah. Prey's getting re-released in
in the
select theaters. Yeah.
Exciting
Yep.
times.
It only took 3 years, but
Yeah.
hey.
Yeah, so you accomplish a lot of things, and you're going out and you're being an inspiration. You are a rock star, brother.
Oh man, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I
You.
just had to-
Appreciate that.
I was trying to find a way how to say that, and I kind of just had to come off naturally. But yeah, so with all the success and everything, you want to be a rock star, and next thing you know, you are a rock star. So, how do you feel after all of this, man? Like, after everything you experienced, how do you?
To be honest, it still feels like it's, I guess I could say surreal to me because you're right. Like I do get recognized a lot of the time, and I get asked to go out to do these events like this. Like a couple weeks ago, last month, 2 months ago. It's November now. Yeah, 2 months ago, September. I was just in Thunder Bay, Ontario. Spoke at their high school with their First Nations high school, mind you. Like I didn't go speak at like the public school or anything. And these were kids who had to fly in from a like very isolated community. And so, yep, Thunder Bay, Ontario. Yep. And it's kind of like a blessing and a curse, kind of like a double-edged sword. Um, some days where I want to be Harlan and just do what I used to do, go play guitar, go play with my toys, every my lightsabers. It's Sanger. Like sometimes it's hard for me to even explain to people like, hey, like at the end of the day, like I'm still Harlan. Um, I will sign this for you and I will take the selfies and everything because I always like to think how I would be if I was in their shoes and seeing one of our local, one of our local people all of a sudden be part of these two very big projects and still deciding to live on reservation. Because that's one of the big choices I like decided to personally make too was I'm gonna stay on reservation just to hope like help shape the next generation into maybe having more actors like this or maybe even people who decide to like dive into the music industry and be successful because just being the only one right now from the community it's a little hard especially when I have to leave by myself be on the road all alone and then finally like having to meet these new people and see like if they're going to be friends or if they're just going to be coworkers because there's a big difference between that. Yeah. There's a lot of like people I've worked with that I would say like hey bro or hey what's up. But really it's I should be like hey how's it going, professionally cuz I don't see them as friends. I see them as coworkers. But one of my biggest takeaways from it is how it affects my siblings as well because my brother he dabbled into the acting world. Like he didn't book a gig. He got very close a couple of times. The show Bones of Crows, I think that show is called. And then he also got pretty far in the Sanguinet audition. But he only auditioned like 3 weeks before filming, and I auditioned like a month and a half before. And seeing how far he was getting, I was getting worried. And I was telling him, I was like, Clinton, if you book this, I'm gonna resent you. And so yeah, they chose me, so I didn't have to resent my own brother. But yeah, and like just seeing how it affects them, because a lot of the times now they don't really like tell people like, yeah, that's my brother. It's like only when it comes up organically, right? Like my brother's a firefighter, and he met a bunch of people like fighting fires, and they were making Shorzy references and talking about Shorzy, and he wanted so bad to like be like, yeah, it's my brother, but like he knows that there's that barrier that he needs like to put up for himself. And my sister Danyana, she's probably the one most sick of it already. Yeah, I used to coach them in club, and all the time people come up to me like, "Hey, are you the coach I'm saying or from Shorzy?" And my sister right away would just turn and walk away, just take off in the other direction, and I'll be left there alone. Like, "Yep, that's me. Yeah, I'll take a photo."
I was gonna say, do you want to give brother a shout out today?
Clinton Flett. Oh wait, my brother?
Your brother.
Oh, okay, yeah, Clinton Flett. I was like, wait, my brother or your brother?
Both of them.
Samuel Flett, Clinton Marty.
There we go. All for you boys.
Mix them together.
Good stuff.
So you said that you played music in the. Have you ever like been upstage, like playing like actual like live for another audience? Has that kind of like that experience, kind of like I guess being in front of performing in front of people? Did you take that onto set while like?
Oh, 100%, man. Yeah, like I've been performing on stage since I was 11. If you go on YouTube and like type in, I think it's called like 11-year-old guitar hero, like Harlan Kytwayhat.
Yeah.
You'll see me on stage either with a couple of bands that I was like school bands, right? We had like a school rock band program at Ernie Studer, and the guitar player for them, and I was also the bass player for them. And yeah, you'll see me on stage with either a band, and there's even one video when it's just me on stage alone at 11. So like I was already kind of taking on that challenge of taking the bull by the horns at that age, right? Just because I chose to like do that, right? Like I choose to like do these things only because I know it helps better myself. And so after that, I kind of stopped playing on stage for a couple years because that's when I really started diving into my athletic world, right? Like because of volleyball and basketball, badminton. I was even in cross country for a while. Just no time to like have to rehearse for a show or a gig, right? So that was put on the back burner until closer to when I graduated high school. And That's when I started to jam out more with my uncle's band, called Hotbox with Charlie, and that was with Troy LaRock and Dustin LaRock and their brother Lance, right? Lance. And so yeah, that happened for a little bit. Like I never really had gigs with them, just kind of like jamming out, like getting back into it. And then finally, like I joined the band, but we stopped calling ourselves Hotbox with Charlie, and we started calling ourselves KCRO, Keep Calm Rock On, even though we played more country than rock. And so yeah, and I started rehearsing and playing more with them, and we started booking more of these gigs. And like I said, my hair was probably about your length around the time too. Like if you look at my Instagram and go back, and you'll see like me and my short hair, right? But it was those moments that really helped me because being the lead guitar player, and I took like the majority, if not all, the guitar solos, right? And sometimes it wasn't just little solos, it's like notable songs. Like we covered Paranoid, and that's probably one of the more memorable solos out there. So I kind of hate it when people do that. They cover a song, but they do their own solo. I'm like, no. If you wanted your own solo, you record your own song. Right? And so I started jamming out with them more. And like I said, it really helped because sometimes we'd be in a room full of a full building, but sometimes it might only be like 5 people in the audience. But, still, a show's a show. And one of the things that it really helped me with was just the fact that I have to, I guess, perform again as an actor, though, still in front of people. And like the cameras were always around. People like sitting in the audience see their flashes, a couple of flashes, with their recording. So I was used to it. I was used to the whole eyes on me concept of it. And yeah, I it really did help me when it became. I got $5. Yeah, treaty money.
So, are there any significant challenges you have faced in your career path?
Um, oh, Significant challenges that I faced in my career. I guess to give more of a recent example, one of the more challenging things nowadays is Shorzy, because no one has seen my character since season 3, and the only thing they said about Sanguinet was he went home for the summer. And I don't know anything, right? Like I kind of barely even really speak to the cast members anymore. Like the only ones really I talk to is TR and maybe Dolo. So that's one of the hard things about it is like riding so high with all the guys, the whole team, everyone in the like show, the cast and crew members, just to all of a sudden be sidelined. And it sucks because everyone wants to know where's Sanguinet, when's he coming back, and all I can say is I don't know. I honestly do not know if or like even if there's any plans for Sanguinet to come back, right? Because yeah, like I don't know. That's one of like my personal challenges right now. But like professional challenges that I faced was this last show I did last September. I was shooting in Calgary. We actually shared a bunch of the same locations for Prey. So I was like, hey, I was here before, but now I have a shirt on finally because it's cold by the mountains. And so that was really cool to like visit that again. But the show's called The Abandons, and that's one's coming out December 4th, Netflix. And I was basically thrown to the wolves for that. So when I auditioned for it, they didn't ask if I knew how to do my own stunts, and they didn't ask if I knew how to horseback ride. And so my first day on set, Harlan, after lunch, come rehearse your fight scene. I'm like, fight scene, fight scene. They're like, yeah, you have a fight scene with Eugene Brave Rock. So we'll rehearse that after. I'm like, I don't have a stunt double. I guess I don't have a stunt double. So, I did it though. I did it, right? I still went up. I couldn't even finish my lunch because my stomach started turning. So I just like put it away, went out there, and we rehearsed it. It was like a minor fight scene. It wasn't like something really big, like where we were like falling and jumping off of things. And then the other one, like I said, was the horseback riding. So I got this set, and I knew it was going to be like riding horses day, right? because yeah, we got the sides, and I saw that, and yeah, I got to set, and I started walking with a couple of the Wranglers. He goes, "All right, Harlan, this is Spade. If you want to mount up right now, we'll just go for a little ride around the set." I'm like, "What's going on?" uh, okay, yeah, let's go. Like, I've watched and played enough video games where I can make it look like I'm mounting properly and like doing it right. Played a lot of Red Dead Redemption before that show because just trying to get into that world, right? And so yeah, got to set or no, got on the horse, Spade, beautiful horse by the way. Can't wait till everyone sees how Spade and I look on camera together. And yeah, like one of the things that like really calmed me down is thinking about what my mom told me was like talk to the horse, like ask the horse, like be gentle with me. You make me look good for camera, I'll make you look even better for camera. Like this is a relationship now. It's not just get up and go. And yeah, so got to set, did the thing, rode the horse, and luckily it wasn't like a full trot day. We just had to like slowly come out of the bushes, me and my war party, because my character, he's a leader of a war party in this show, right? We're the guys that are out for blood, but the father's like, no, we're signing this treaty. It's like, no, Dad. And so yeah, that's so like I just like yeah, personal, like little like conundrum that I've been going through, and then yeah, that would be my professional one. That would be all of a sudden getting thrown to the wolves. And yeah, when I auditioned for my character, his name was Eagle Claw, I believe. But when I got this set, I was reading the scripts and the sides, right? And I'm like, who's Strongheart? They're like, oh yeah, by the way, we changed the character name. It's Strongheart now. I'm like, okay. That's three things that have just boop, thrown at me. But hey, I did it, and the show's going to be great. I already feel it.
Oh. Going through with that, what is something you discovered about yourself through filming and like
I really like
acting?
riding horses. Yeah,
That's
like
awesome.
I when I got sent home for like the 2 weeks in between whatever episodes. I forget what episodes I was in. I think it was like either 2 or 3 episodes. I forget. Um, but yeah, I was supposed to come back for the final episode, but they had script rewrites and like character again just disappeared. And so I was really distraught when I found out I wasn't gonna go back to ride horses because it was a really big fight scene with horses and like the main character. Like there was gonna be like probably 60 of us on set that day, like fighting. So yeah, when I got the word that they didn't need me for that final episode, I was sad. And I was like, man, I was really looking forward to being with Spade again and having to actually really make each other look good.
Well, I have one. It's like more of like a question for the people out there who are pursuing acting. How did you handle the big letdowns? Like, and
Oh, I
like,
just
how
moved
did you
on.
good.
I'm like, oh, geez, on to the next. Because, like, personally, I just move on because I already did a bunch of gigs where I'm happy with them. Like, if my career ended tomorrow, I would be happy because I still did Shorzy. I still did Prey. I worked with Gillian Anderson from the X-Files, and then, like, there's so many, like, cool things I'm already happy about that if it all ended right now, I would be okay with it. So yeah, I'm grateful for all of it, and that's why whenever I don't book these big gigs, like, recently they rebooted Carrie. I think it's the third or fourth time they're rebooting the thing. Yeah, I know, right? And so there's this character in there. His name is Tommy. And in the original movie, he's the one that drives Carrie to the date. So he's not really one of the bullies. He was like, he was feeling a little sympathetic for her, but still he was hanging out with the cool kids, the bullies or whatever. And so, yeah, he was played by like a blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy back then. And nowadays they recasted him to be indigenous. And so I auditioned for that. And I don't know I forget how far I got into that process, but they chose this actor named Joel Olette from Trickster, I think. Yeah, that show. So yeah, like when that happened, I was like distraught because I know that Amber Mid Thunder had already got casted in that show, Carrie. So I was like hoping to work with her again. I actually had 2 chances to almost work with Amber again because I was almost in that Avatar: The Last Airbender show, but not as one of the main characters, just like some general named Henry or something, getting ready for the big fight. But still, that would have been awesome. And there's that new Avatar movie coming out, but it's animated, and I got pretty far in the audition process to be the older version of Sokka. Yeah, yeah, man. I got pretty crap. I don't know how close, but I know like I got like maybe one or two more auditions after my first one. So yeah, that would have been cool for me to play the older version of Sokka. That would have been nice. Would have
Yeah,
been a
so
nice little check grade upgrade, you know?
yeah,
Little
that's
pay bump.
yeah. So was that like I know that you've done music, but like for some reason, like I too kind of want to be an actor, and I think of like I was hearing that your body yourself is like an instrument. So like you said, like when you're talking monotone, and like so this was voiceover, right?
Yeah, for the
For
Avatar one. Yeah, yeah.
for the
The animated one.
animation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So was that kind of process of you like trying to figure out like how to like convey emotion? Kind of like
Yeah.
was that
Because,
something interesting?
yeah, no, because sometimes it's different when it comes to like voice over auditions. Sometimes they just like expect you to do the audition and just on like MP3 file or whatever, right? But there was a few voice auditions that I got where they were like, Harlan, shoot it like a regular self tape. Shoot it like it's like you're gonna be like live action of it. And I think for that it like circles back to like your body's an instrument because they want to see like not only can your voice do it, but can you actually like bring that energy to it, even though it's just gonna be your voice. Because when I auditioned for that, I was trying to like move around in my room and like make it sound like I was running around in Sokka's like little coffee shop or whatever. And yeah, like, and it was hard because when you're not moving around, just like trying to sit here like or like on your phone or something, just like doing the lines, it's just awkward. Just awkward. You need to like get into it, even if it's just a voiceover role. I think that's like the third time my voice cracked. Holy.
No, you're good. I didn't hear anything.
I'm a
Man.
real boy.
You sound amazing. All right. I just had a question there. Your voice threw me off.
I'll do better. I'm sorry.
Do you guys have any questions there? Yeah, here you go.
Within your own community, did you realize any change of like fame or anything? Like, did people recognize you more? We're like, oh, it's him.
Yeah, 100%. So I recently started working at our school as an educational assistant because it's when I realized how like famous I was getting and how much influence I had, I made that choice, like I said, to stay in reserve because like I see it now, like even just kids younger than in grade 5 or 6 are already like troubled and like talking like they're depressed adults already, right? Which is no good at all. And so I was just too busy these past prior years to like fully commit and like say I'm going to start this program or I want to start this drama class. And so now recently I found that I've had more free time and I wanted to start it because I feel like if I don't do it sooner, like nothing's going to happen of it and these kids are all just going to be lost still. And so when I made that choice to work at the school, it wasn't just like, for like a consistent income. It wasn't just for me to like find myself to be doing something so I myself don't get depressed and get stuck in a hole. It was to start that mission and starting to help these young ones and show them like, hey, you guys, like you've seen me on TV, you've seen me in these big movies, and now look, now I'm walking the same halls as you. And a lot of them always thought like, hey, like how's Hollywood? How was the big city? And I'm like, well, I have no idea because I've just been at my house down the street this entire time, locked away in my basement. And so, yeah, like I said, I really, really want more of like me to come out there into the world and to like be like, all right, I can. If he can do this, I can do this. Because growing up, I was that kid sitting in the back, hair in front of the face, the whole emo phase, wearing black. Well, I'm kind of wearing almost all black right now, so I still haven't really left that phase.
It was never a phase.
It's not just a phase, Mom. No, but yeah, I was that kid in the back. I hated it when, someone would come to the school or we'd have to go to a different community just to listen to someone talk, right? Because like most of the times, like they always said the same thing. is always like, wake up in the morning, make your bread, make your bread, make your bed, make your bread too, I guess. Yeah, it works.
Your affirmations.
Yeah, exactly. And so like I was just sick of hearing the same things, right? Because all of them were just that same person, motivational speakers. You know, maybe a couple of times we did run into some athletes, but they all just said the exact same thing. Wake up in the morning, make your bread, bed. And so like that's also one thing I wanted to turn around, like to come show like, yeah, like I'm not just this guy like stuck in Hollywood or like done with reservations because I prefer the city. No, it's the total opposite. I prefer to be on reservation and just to, I guess, be like that beacon, right? Like that beacon of hope, I could say. And like just to inspire because like not a lot of the kids knew that I was an actor when I started working. I remember this one day I was substituting the grade 10 class and I went to the staff room to go use the washroom and I came back and one of the students goes, "You were in movies?" And I was like, "Yeah." Like, you know, just because I thought he was like just messing with me, right? Like, "Yeah, I was in movies. Which one?" I'm like, "You serious? Like, you living under a rock, my guy?" I'm like, "You know that new movie Predator?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, that one's awesome." I'm like, "I'm the guy with the lasers on the forehead. I'm the one that runs through the grass." And then right there, like all like it was almost a full classroom, about like maybe 15 students. Yeah, like all of them like in unison just dropped their pens or whatever and just all looked up at to where I was sitting. They're like, "Really? You were in that movie?" And they're like, "What else were you in?" And I'm like, "You guys are messing with me, I'm pretty sure, right?" And I'm in a show called Shorzy. And they're like, "Oh, the hockey one." I'm like, "Yeah, I play the coach." And they're like, "Oh, it is you." You know, like it's still happening with the youth and the kids. A lot of them too are now like recognizing me just because on Halloween I went as the Green Power Ranger from Mighty Morphin. And the only reason why like that helped or worked out is because nowadays they're in Fortnite. So now even the younger generation knows about how they are and how they look. Yeah. And it happened a lot. Like, you know, the older ones are like, "Oh, sick costume, Harlan." I'm like, "Thank you." But the kids, "It's him from Fortnite." And then I'm just like, "Yeah, this is how I look without my helmet on."
Nice. So I really like that how you said that you're there for the youth and like just noticing all of these like they're in struggle like all of these like that's exactly what I'm noticing every time we go to the high school or else even to Eagle View. It seems like we want to be there for the youth and I feel like with us here 7 Gen I feel like we kind of put them in front of the camera and like let them shine, and I just have a question like is there a goal for you within your community? Is there something that you're trying to achieve like even with your experience?
To be honest, what for me personally, like my plan extends to like longer than I'll be around, basically. What I want to do is just be that foundation so other people can build and make, add better things to what I'm doing and what I guess what I aim to do. And what I aim to do, yeah, is to help these kids build more confidence in themselves and just and also embrace their whole like indigenous identity because not a lot of them do that. A lot of them are stuck in their whole like gangster ways and like just like trying to be something that they're not. And yeah, I want to show them like, hey, like I can like show these kids like this is how I used to be in high school. I used to be just like you, but now look at me. I embrace the long hair. I like wearing chokers all the time now. I like participating in ceremonies. And that's the one thing that these kids don't do right now is they don't participate in a lot of ceremonies, not even a simple one like a feast. They wouldn't know how to serve the people. And it's like all you're doing is just you're serving the people. Like, come on, like they just don't know that. And so I really hope that whatever I do is a strong enough foundation that, whoever, whether it be like like if I ever have a kid or if it's like one of my younger siblings or maybe a cousin that comes and steps in or maybe even just someone else completely different that comes in but still building on the foundation that I built because I know like my mission and my goal like I said it's going to go beyond after I'm gone and I still want people to remember like oh yeah this is how it started, this is where it all began 50 years ago. My name will still be being brought up, right? I guess that's my goal right there is to be immortalized.
Yeah, well, you're right on the right track, man. Because like you are an inspiration. Because like I said, I was wanting to also be an actor, like you and like you said, Amber, Joel. I was like always listening to like reading articles about that. So you are on the right track, my friend.
Oh man, thank you, thank you. I really hope that whatever I do, I don't derail myself. You know.
Yeah, no, no, you're good. You have a good head on your shoulders, man. I saw any other questions from girls? Yeah, sweaty.
So I just got here and I was just observing of what you have to say, and one of my questions are, how do you stay grounded while in your culture and identity while working in mainstream places?
My family. Yeah, especially my mom, who is actually with me here today. She's the one that actually like keeps me very humble and grounded because a lot of times I like to dive into that world of being a celebrity and like living lavishly, taking off to the weekends or taking off for the weekend, booking myself suites instead of like budgeting. I'm terrible with money. Oh yeah, and so yeah, it's just the constant reminders that I need. That hey Harlan, like don't forget who you are, don't forget where you came from. And I think staying in my reserve also really helps me remind myself that all right Harlan, like you used to be that kid running up and down these streets, wiping out on your bike and running away into the bushes for a bit, coming back out real dirty, all those little prickly things all over your shirt and pants. Yeah. And so yeah, like I said, my family is we're all still together, and we're all like have a very healthy relationship with each other too. And like there's certain things that like I would only say to them that I wouldn't say to like fellow like cast members or just like friends of mine or whatever. And yeah, that's what really helps keep me grounded and keeps me humble is stuff like that. And now I think, especially that I'm working at our school, it'll also like double that. It'll just double the humbleness, double the groundness, and yeah,
So, do you think your acting career could be a stepping stone for wanting to be a rock star?
yeah, I really think so because one of my favorite actors is Johnny Depp, and he went to L.A. to be a rock star. He just so happened to be friends with this guy. I don't know if you know his name, Nicolas Cage. Just casual friends with him. And it was actually like him who got him into acting. And like Johnny, he went and had this amazing acting career. And now he has his band with ex famous rock stars. Like Alice Cooper is his lead singer in his band Hollywood Vampires right now. Joe Perry from Aerosmith is his other guitar player in Hollywood Vampires. And so I really think it can like help with that, like whether it be me working with other ex pro like or pros, like guitar players, whatever musicians, yeah, musicians, yeah. And so yeah, I really think it would help with that, whether it be like working with big names or just starting my own record label, something.
Do you think you could ever collab like music with Dakota? Because I saw that like he plays as well, and he has like his
Oh
own little
yeah,
band.
100%, 100%. Like that there's one of my most recent one of my most recent posts on my Instagram where I uploaded a video of Dakota and I playing one of his songs. And how that happened was it was supposed to just be his gig. And right before I went home, like, officially went home, he told me to come back and he like joined the stage with me. Let's jam out together on stage for these guys because we spent most of like the shoot and pray like hanging out, playing like songs for each other with the other cast members, right? Taking turns with our guitars, and so yeah, I really feel like I can collab with Dakota in the near future here, and it'll be magical.
No question. It's just that like that sounds like like I said, you're an inspiration there, man. Like you're not only wanting to continue acting, but like you said, you still have that passion for music. So do you still jam like on like from time to time?
Yeah, actually, I'm working very like not very big. I'm working a lot with the music program at the school. My uncle's the one spearheading that one. Um, like most of the times in that class, it's me going around with the students. Like he would do the lesson, like, hey, we're doing guitar chords today. This is where they're at. But when it comes to like the one-on-ones, I'm the one like out and like with the students, right? And I really like I'm not jamming yet, but it is nice to still just be in that world of being able to pick up a guitar and like show the kids like yeah like if you keep practicing you can do and then I'll just like do a nasty lick or something, right, do something hard right, on purpose. And at home I have this amplifier and I think it says like 99 plus backtracking drum beats. Isn't it like I change the tempo, change the drum beat, whatever volume. So it's like that's what I jam out with like too nowadays. And just sometimes I'll like jam out to like a classic rock sounding song, like something along the lines of AC/DC or like Kiss or something. Sometimes I might even do like a full blown like country sounding song. Because like I said, when I was a KCRO, like we played a lot of country songs. So like I know what it's like to play both types of music. And my uncle and I were thinking about starting to jam again because we both miss it. We both crave being on stage again. Like when we go see these other bands, like I guess other bands, I should just say High Limit. When we go see High Limit, we miss it. We miss having people come up and like dance and like cheer after a really good guitar solo or after you play someone's favorite song or not someone's like the whole group's favorite song. I love hearing the cheers. I miss hearing it, I should say. Yeah, yeah, I know, right, China girl.
So, what has been your greatest motivation through it all?
Oh, jeez. My greatest motivation through all of this would probably be that idea of thinking and hoping that it'll inspire another person from my reserve to not do what I do, but do it better. And I really hope that I hope it's more than just one kid. That's what like motivates me is like every time I come back home and I get to share these new stories because I just worked on like this awesome gig. I get to tell people like, yeah, I got to ride horses. It's been a while since, if not even ever, that I got to do stuff like. And because I remember, I'm really big into history. Not only just our history, but like world history. And one of those big missions I remember that elders used to say was go out into the world, but come back and teach us what you learn. That way we're not left behind. And so that's why I choose to stay on my reserve, right? It's because I like to think of stuff like that. That's what motivates me. I'm a huge nerd, so when it comes to like stuff like that, I just feel like, like yes, the chief is sending us out to war again, or like, we just got knighted as like knights, like the knights of like the Crusades or something. And that's like the stuff that helps keeps me going and motivated, and knowing that when I'm done all of that, I get to come home and I get to share these stories with the young ones and whoever wants to listen. And it's working. It's working. I know it is. I can feel it. The more like these kids coming up to me at school now and like, hey, you were in Prey, right? I'm like, yeah, but that movie didn't scare you. You're mighty brave. Yeah, get to class.
I just want to say, I just want to say thank you for coming out, and that like you being an inspiration but still being down to earth is what this generation needs. Like you are such a big, like you said, like a beam of light in such a dark time. That's what she said yesterday. But
Just
like
get that tattooed somewhere.
yeah. But
A
you
bean of light.
on your forehead. Just kidding. But yeah, it goes a long way, and like you remembering your roots and where you come from and remembering to come back to that, that says a lot, like about who you are. And it's really thankful to meet you. It's very nice that you
Oh,
came
thank
and
you
met
for
us.
having me. This is awesome. It's been a while since I got to talk about this in 2 months. That's a while to me. It's a while to me whenever I get to not talk about myself. Need to sometimes.
Yeah, so we'll just do some closing remarks. So, like Aisha said, man, you're an inspiration. Love having you here and love hearing your stories and all of that. Because, like, I feel like everyone here is taking a little bit of yeah, everything that you're saying, man. Because thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you for making the time to come out here, and you're a role model for the next generation, younger. Thank you.
Thank you for coming out here as well. You're really appreciated. You know, taking the time to be here and like tell us your story, even though it could be a little bit vulnerable. It's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So that concludes the interview with Harlan Kytwayhat. All right. So are we going to be doing the draw for those on live or after live? Is that the people here? Because I want to get into that. Man. All right. So thank you so much, all the viewers out there. Hope you guys have a great day. Moistas miogisagan